People want to be like me, and I'm like, don't, because I don't feel good inside. I was journaling, I was meditating, all of that, but I wasn't at peace. And that was the whole idea. It's not about weight. It's not about muscle. It's not about strength. It's not about mindset. It's what is going to ground you and bring you peace, because from that position in life, you'll take the best decisions for you.
Hello, Brave Table fam. Welcome to another episode of The Brave Table. I'm your host, Dr. Neeta, and this is your destination, your oasis to be all things just a little bit more brave in your actions, in your relationships, and in your life. And today, I have a powerhouse. She is a serial entrepreneur, and get this, she has literally been a physical therapist, a certified yoga teacher, an Ayurvedic practitioner, a meditation expert. She's been recognized as a leading voice in the intersection of AI and well-being. She's also the founder of Shaanti, an AI-powered wellness platform, creating personalized rituals rooted in Ayurveda, and also the new Founder School, which equips entrepreneurs with practical strategies to launch and grow sustainably. Now, Arjita Sethi is on the show today, and we've had, such a long time coming to have her on the show. And not only is she a mother, but I want to talk a little bit today for the mamas in the room who either has had different seasons of life. Maybe you've had a season of life where you're prioritizing family. Maybe you're in the season of life where you are in the messy trenches of motherhood and you're like, nope, I do not want to build anything. I just need to make sure that my kid is staying sane. Or maybe you're just perhaps getting that creative juice to create more and perhaps wrestling with this idea of ambition. And so if you are one to ask that question and all of the above, this queen has been there, done that. She's been through it all. You are going to get so much value. And I promise you, you will probably ask the questions of, is this enough? Am I content? Where can I find my inner peace? So buckle up, because this is a roller coaster ride with somebody I truly, deeply admire that has, so much wisdom to share. So without further ado, let's bring up Arjita Sethi on the Brave Table this week. Arjita, you have had such an incredible gamut of just life experience and as a serial entrepreneur. And I resonate with your story so much because, being a cosmetic dentist and you being a physical therapist, I feel like, many times we started ourselves in medicine, but now it's kind of like you've added more and more and more layers. And so I kind of want to start there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because I keep going back to my physical therapy roots sometimes, especially now that I'm building an AI Ayurvedic platform, because in physical therapy, we were asked all the time or invited to ask our patient, what happened that led to this? Let's go ahead and get you your strength back so you can be back in the society. So the question wasn't, oh, you have pain, let me give you a painkiller and, kind of numb that pain. Oh, you had this, let's just do the surgery. And it was basically what led to this. How can we ergonomically fix some things that are not working for you so that you can show in your true potential? And I did not really take much note of it at that time. Again, you're in your 20s, you can do anything, all of that. But I built a company at 16 in India, reached 100,000 people, fully profitable. I wasn't burned out. Worked with United Nations, everyone. Moved to Silicon Valley, 5 years of building an AI startup. And back in 2015, of course, AI hadn't caught up. And we were too early. So we had to shut that down.
Because you had 40,000 people.
40,000 people.
Wow. And you were venture-backed.
Venture-backed. Our research was happening in Finland. We got a 91% score in the pedagogy of the education platform with AI that we had built. So it was...
You were ahead of your time.
Yeah, exactly. So doing that in 2019, we were so burnt out that my partner and I, we had to really sit down and say, how long can we keep pushing? I mean, we can keep waiting for the time to be right for this technology, but are we doing well mentally, emotionally, physically? And that's the conversation we realized we had to shut down this company. We laid off our team. Hardest thing ever. Ben Horowitz has this book called Hard Things About Hard Things, and he talks about this. This is the hard thing, when you have to lay off the people that you like, who won't like you anymore because you laid them off. But I also am in love with Carl Honore's book, In Praise of Slowness, where he says, life is like music. There is a different tempo for every season, so honor that tempo. And that's where, when COVID hit, we left San Francisco, moved up north, and onto this 3-acre property that was filled with redwoods. And I went deep into Ayurveda and Kundalini, and I was looking for answers. I was a non-technical person. I knew Anshul's going to get a job. He's like a software engineer. He's doing an AI, everything. What about me? I've only built a business in India. I'm non-technical. What am I going to do? So having that failure, especially as a South Asian person who was told never to quit, keep hustling, keep pushing, you'll be okay. That was really hard. But I needed that moment of centering. And I think out of that place came the idea of there's got to be a better way of running a business. It cannot mean if my startup did not work, I either go back to hustling to another startup or picking up a job. There's got to be a better way.
Huge. Yeah. So you've had so many incredible achievements, so many incredible life experiences. But what strikes me about your work is how human and grounded it feels. And, you know, you talk a lot about life syncing and success. How did becoming a mother change the way you define success and run your businesses?
Yeah. So I had been hearing about like work-life balance a lot. And I don't know why this question kept coming up in my panel discussions, in my keynotes and Q&A. Everybody wanted to know, how do you manage work-life balance? But the moment I became a mom, it became the number one question that people wanted to ask me. And I think the life sync success was kind of the thing that Anshul and I have been dabbling with after shutting the first startup, because everybody's in a different season of life. And balancing still meant that you had to be doing the work. And that just meant you were constantly doing something and missing out on something else. And that did not seem fair. We are whole individuals. We should be living a full life. And some days work takes precedence, and some days family takes precedence. And I should not be split into half constantly. So the idea was, what does my season need today? And I'm going to be guilt-free. I remember my mom coming to me and she's said, you're going to have mom guilt now, leaving. I'm like, no, I won't.
Because life syncing means
being for whatever thing is needed in my life at that point. I'm fully aware for that. And don't get me wrong, it's my life's work. I'll fall down, I'll relearn, learn again, iterate, pivot, all of that. And I love being an entrepreneur. That is a normal thing.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be built around my life instead of I have to do this. Yeah.
When was that moment? Because I want to go back. Like you've had such an incredible journey, and from co-founding startups to then teaching entrepreneurship at a university, and to immigrant founders as well, to launching the new founder school. So was there a moment that you realized that you just didn't want to build a business, but you wanted to teach others to do it differently?
It's actually a very funny story, because when my startup shut down, and the first thing in my South Asian brain was, I quit. Failure. How could you do that? So
we don't fail.
We don't.
How dare you fail?
You keep gritting. You keep going.
You
keep doing that. But what people don't realize about immigrants and immigrant entrepreneurship, specifically in the US, is you don't have a tribe. I didn't have my family, my parents, my in-laws to fall back on. So when I did have an overdrafted bank account, it was up to me to pay the rent, get the groceries, make sure everything was okay. And as kids, we share that burden where we won't tell our parents when things are hard.
Right.
they've seen hard life,
Right.
you know, this is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a deeply isolating thing to experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I went ahead and really, after the startup shut down, I had told Anshul, I'm just going to start something very soon because I have to keep going. Otherwise, I would be obsolete. People would forget about me. I am nothing if I'm not hustling. And while I'm figuring out my next idea, I'll share my journey. And I started talking about it on social media, and that took off in terms of other entrepreneurs reaching out and saying, how can we build sustainably? Tell us more. How did you take the first step? How did you launch? How did you build? And that became New Founder School, which was never meant to be a business.
So it's so wild because as I'm reflecting back on your journey, you know, so many people would be so ashamed of like, okay, you built this startup, you were venture backed, you had, you know, 40,000 customers and like leads and all of the things and people that you were taking care of their income and their wealth. And then you had to shut it all down. And that would, you know, of course, in an immigrant mindset, South Asian mindset, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that would point to me as a failure. But, you know, you did the complete opposite, which was like nobody likes to share their failures, but you did it so vulnerably. And that literally gave doors to your next venture. And because the thing is people really want to know, well, how did you do that? And it gives you way more credibility as someone, you know, I think, because I used to live in Silicon Valley as well. And, you know, they say, well, I won't take them seriously until they have their third failed startup. Then they're a real founder, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, what do you mean by that? And because it does take the grit and the tenacity. And I think, you know, coming from a traditional business background from, you know, as a cosmetic dentist, brick and mortar, you don't share your numbers with anyone. You don't share you're having a bad season or a bad month or any of those things. And I just love how you normalize that. And so, you know, so many founders burn out trying to do it all. What have you learned about finding flow instead of forcing hustle?
That's such a great question, Neeta. And I think this would be my life's work. And I don't think there is a right answer for everyone. There is only going inward and reflecting and working as a team. So me and Anshul and now our baby, we're a team. We're working as a team to figure out what the rhythm is for this season for our life. And having difficult conversations, very difficult ones. You know, we are at each other's throats sometimes. We are highly emotional sometimes. And then we stick together. We stay where we are with that discomfort and we come up to a solution. But it keeps going back to what does sustainably mean for me and what is enough? And this is something that I tell my founders all the time. It's great to be venture-backed. I was venture-backed. But
do you think it still is great to be venture-backed?
I think so, especially with the new AI startups getting funding way sooner and way faster and way bigger rounds. I think it is still marked as a success pointer. It's a way for telling people that you do have credibility, you are building something. But I think it is overhyped in the sense the day the VC check hit my account, I was so anxious. Now I've got to do what I promised.
Because you're like, okay, this is somebody else's money and they're going to come after their money. And what if, and that's just, I feel like that's so much pressure.
Exactly. And that's why I've invited founders that I work with to ask, would you want to build a unicorn where you own less than 10% of your company? Or do you want to build $100 million business where you own 100% of your company? And it's possible today, especially with AI. I think we're thinking more of AI is going to take away our jobs. I think AI is giving us this unique window to take away the things that we find boring and automative and repetitive and invite some sort of wellness in that. So if AI can send my emails, I would rather sit and have a conversation with a friend.
Right.
So
Right.
are we going to do that, or are we going to fill it with more busy work?
Right.
That's I think something that we will have to figure out. But for me, this is the constant conversation. What is enough?
What is enough?
What is enough for me? And do I want to be a unicorn? Why? I want to be venture back. Why?
I think there was something that I read or some founder posted it online where after he exited his company, he like didn't have any money to his name because he had to pay all of his investors back.
Yeah.
But he could say he exited a company.
Exactly.
He's an exited founder.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think are the biggest myths you see holding unconventional founders back?
I think the first, actually, there are so many, but the first one is that you have to be venture backed. That your idea has to be some big idea that has to change the world. And I literally give them my example. I did not think New Founder School would be a business. We are closing 6-figure deals with some of the biggest companies, going into their companies and implementing AI flows so that their companies can do better.
Okay, yeah.
We never thought I would do this. I never thought I would be doing this. But that's where entrepreneurship is done with an open mind, and it takes years. I'll give you another example because I deeply resonate with your story that you shared about chai tonics and how you thought about it. So Shaanti was supposed to launch in 2023.
Okay, yeah.
But I got pregnant. And my first trimester, I was so nauseous. And we had hired a team, invested in that team, all of that. And I did not know I was pregnant. I got to know it. And 2 weeks into the launch, we pulled back. Like, this is not the season.
Yeah, yeah.
And what couldn't happen in 2023 is happening in 2025, 2 years later. But guess what? I knew that was part of the plan. Nobody else did.
Right.
And this is this whole idea of the perception that we have of our own selves. I want every aspiring founder, every creator, every podcaster, YouTuber to ask why. Why should my video go viral? That's great, but why?
Yeah.
What's the outcome? How does it enrich my life? I want to ask that. Again, as South Asian, I think validation, perception of success, we are always putting on a performance.
Of course, we're wired for that.
And I've just put a break on that. I'm not performing.
And so to know, because, this Find Shaanti, I think is such a beautiful name for even it's meaning finding peace. And so this whole idea of how do you find peace within your own life? And, I think from the themes of when is enough enough? And you've had to make some really, really hard decisions. And so tell us a little bit about what Find Shaanti is all about. And, I feel like even as I'm saying it, you guys, you have to watch this on YouTube because Arjita's face is just like, she's just melting and she's glowing. And I feel like that is your Shaanti. Yeah. That's your peace. Yeah. So tell us about your peace.
I keep saying this left, right, and center when people say operating systems, and I'm like, iOS, Android, forget about it. Your nervous system is the operating system you should be focused on. That is what you need to, because so back in 2019, up until actually 2019, from 2014 to 2019, I was lifting weights. I was running half marathons. I was swimming. I was like doing everything possible that a healthy person should be doing.
And high achiever.
Right, exactly. Exactly, right? That's ingrained in us.
Right.
Elder daughter of a South Asian family.
Eldest daughter syndrome.
Exactly. And this comes very naturally to us. It wasn't I was trying to. I was like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I can sign up for that.
Exactly. So I'm deadlifting 165
Of course you are.
For what reason? Why? And I'm feeling really horrible inside. I'm venture backed. I'm going speaking at events. I'm the keynote speaker at conferences. People want to be like me. And I'm like, don't, because I don't feel good inside. And it wasn't because I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't doing the rituals. I was journaling. I was meditating, all of that, but I wasn't at peace. And that was the whole idea. It's not about weight. It's not about muscle. It's not about strength. It's not about mindset. It's what is going to ground you and bring you peace. Because from that, position in life, you'll take the best decisions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we are always taking decisions as a reaction,
Yeah.
not a response, literally the reaction. So find Shanti was literally the idea of if people are at peace, they're going to take good decisions for their life. And the idea was that each one of us is an individual, according to Ayurveda. Everybody's going through a different body type, different tendencies, different stresses, anything that is going around them, their season of life, location. Based on that, I don't have to follow an influencer and drink the green juice because
that might not be for you.
it's not for me.
Yeah.
But who's out there talking about it? Who's telling me what's there for me? So the idea came from that wellness cannot be sold at scale. And that's okay because wellness is different for everyone. How do I invite more peace into my body by understanding my body? And then everything else that I take a decision on would be great.
Wow. And it's a personalized approach. Yeah. Well, as Ayurveda is, because obviously, we have the three doshas and, it's in all of us, but there are seasons, right, where you can be more of one thing and more of another thing. And if you're over pitta, which I feel like a lot of us high achievers are, just like way into our pitta, just getting stuff done, exactly. Then our kapha is definitely out of whack. Yeah. And so we need to sit on a meditation pillow and will we do that?
Absolutely. But if you're a Vata body type and you start trying to sit for a meditation for an hour, I'm bubbling with ideas, I cannot stop my chattering mind, it's not going to help. So for you, the meditation could be walking through a hike.
But then, and with Shaanti, this is what this solution is going to do.
Exactly. That's one. And then the idea was, how do we standardize all wellness products out there so that we educate people how this product is going to be useful for you? So we take any wellness product in the market, and we essentially go ahead out of the three doshas, the 7 body types that we have. We try to create classifications.
Okay.
If this coffee, medium roasted or whatever you're taking, let's say this medium roasted coffee you're taking during the day as Vata, go ahead, take it during noon. Maybe your digestion is better because Vatas have really weak digestion. Don't let coffee be the first thing. It's great. But now that person is going to be informed, okay.
Or have it after a meal.
After a meal.
Because then it's better digestion.
Exactly.
Less bloating.
Yeah. The same thing about hot and cold. If you're Pitta, cold is going to do amazing for you. Go ahead.
Do that cold plunge.
Exactly. But if you do that for Vata type who need warm, grounding thing, wouldn't be great.
Right.
For kaphas, if we go ahead and say, okay, try to pursue 3 different passions at the same time, why can't you do it? Everybody's multi-hyphenated these days. Be like, no, but I'm very grounded, stable. That's what I'm known for. So you start seeing your life patterns that way. So I want to start standardizing this for people so that they understand their body type and then make an informed decision on what to buy, what to do.
I just think that is huge. And so this is fully AI powered.
Fully AI powered.
Wow. Yeah. And so how is it ready? How do we?
Ready.
It's ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ready. It's live.
It's live.
Yeah. It's basically Anshul and I sat together for 2 weeks, coded it, built it, and I was like, yeah, let's put it out there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So so for example, you tried Tritonics today because we had a lovely little tea party.
Yeah.
And so where would Shaanti fall into, would it recommend something like a chai tonics? Okay, this is what you would have, versus, so is it something where you does it read the ingredients? Right. Tell us a little bit about how it works.
So it's going to go through the ingredients, and this is just the first step. It's going to go through the ingredients, and I'm going to use it personally because it cannot just be all AI. Humans are still needed, very much part of it. AI doesn't know how it's going to react with your body type. Right. I'm going to test it, and when I test it with different body types, and we go ahead and drink it, and I go deep into my studies and see what exactly is.
Because you're also an Ayurvedic practitioner.
Yeah. And then we go ahead and start creating basically a manual for every product out there. Every human that comes to find Shaanti is going to take a quiz.
Yep.
A Prakriti and a Vikriti quiz. So most of the dosha quizzes only do the Prakriti, not what is happening in current season of your life.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
Vikriti.
Yes.
Which is the most important because you don't know how far you're away from your center. We need to keep coming back to your center, your natural tendencies. So the idea of Ayurveda is how do we bring you back? Because that's when your gut is at peace. You're at peace.
And everything from Ayurveda, if you're new here, starts with your gut.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the idea is you take this quiz and then based on your expectations, based on your doshas, imbalances, whatever your Vikriti is, to bring you back to your balance, we will recommend the products that are needed
This is like game changing.
and how to use it.
Wow. So what is the vision? What is the vision of Shaanti?
Eventually, I want to start onboarding Ayurveda doctors and let them do scientific research on every product that is on Shaanti so that we have research papers
Oh my gosh.
on every product because I think there is so much of validation already coming from the Western science around the aspects of Ayurveda that we are just scratching the surface of. And I want it from the product side. Like we have FDA
Right. So you want to be this
for Ayurveda.
for Ayurveda.
For wellness. Yeah.
It's so amazing because I think that, while it's been known for 5,000 years and while Western science is just, catching up to all of that, some people really like those scientific papers. And, it's, we've got the grandmother's touch, but, some people really want that. And I think that is, it's so genius. It's so brilliant. And so people can go to where to find out all about it.
Findshanti.com and
Findshanti.com. Okay.
with a double A.
Oh, find Shanti. Yeah, find peace. Find inner peace. Yes. This is brilliant. Of course you're a genius. Of course you're brilliant. Of course. Of course. We're getting into the spill the chai round because this is our rapid fire round.
Okay.
So what is your favorite Ayurvedic ritual?
Vessel journaling. I don't think it's Ayurvedic ritual. It's a ritual aligned with my dosha type, Ayurvedically.
What's your dosha?
Vata Pitta.
Yeah, same.
And
Yeah, of course.
And human design is projector.
Oh, you're a
so-
projector? Okay. I'm a generator.
Yeah. Wow. No, I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So I do something called vessel journaling. This has been my go-to for, I think, at least 6 years now,
Okay.
which is basically at night, I have a journal or a thing to tape my voice on if I'm too tired to write after the baby. So
Okay.
I would just go ahead and do a download of my day. And that
Like
would
just orating it.
just orating it. No judgment.
Yep.
Anything that happened during the day.
Just, okay, like
All my
a
thoughts.
word vomit.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
And I call it vessel because that journal is my vessel. I've emptied my brain. I can do nothing more. I'm ready to sleep and close my day. And week over week, day over day, I realized, hey, this day I wasn't feeling good because this happened.
Yeah.
That day I wasn't. It's literally a diary that is keeping my well-being and informing me. And it just keeps giving me compounding benefit.
Amazing.
So that's my favorite ritual.
What are you braving currently in this season?
I'm constantly asking me, there's a better way to do this.
That's a good question to ask. Yeah. It's actually a fantastic question. Is there a better way?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Yeah. What would you call, or what word describes this season of life?
Legacy.
You are just a plethora of knowledge. I think you are such an inspiration with all of the different, many facets, hats, industries. And I feel like, for anybody who's watching this or listening to this on YouTube, it's so evident that so often, the things that we do, it's just compounding. And I feel like you're just the result of just a journey that's just compounded with so many different layers and layers and layers. So I wanted to end with, who are you today?
I'm a mom with a purpose and an open mind to accept that I may not be right, but I'll figure it out. I have that tolerance of ambiguity.
Amazing. So where can we find more about you?
Socials by Arjita Sethi. Alka is my mom's name, so I took her name as my middle name.
Oh, amazing.
Anywhere on socials or findshanti.com or newfounderschool.com.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, Arjita, you are just like so much light, and I'm so excited that we were able to have you pour into our community because there's so much work and so much great work that you're doing in this world. So thank you.
Of course. Of course. Thank you for having me.
Wow. We are on the other side, and I don't know about you, but I'm just like wildly inspired by Archita's journey. And I think it's so resonant to all of the seasons and phases that we have as mothers. You know, we have our wintering season, our spring season, where we are like birthing so many different projects, and then our summering. And, you know, to really tune into what season you are in. And I love the other concept that she shared about life syncing, because I think there's no such thing as the balance, right? I mean, there's going to be times where you're going to prioritize family. There's going to be times where you're going to prioritize your projects. And, you know, if you are somebody that is curious about Find Shanti, and seeing how Ayurveda and Ayurvedic rituals and products can benefit your life, definitely go ahead, follow Arjita. I'm going to share her her handles in the show notes, as well as New Founder School. If you are a founder, if you're curious about that or curious about just following what she's up to, I'm going to link that in the show notes, as well as Find Shanti, because I think Find Shanti is, and I'm probably biased because now I'm an Ayurvedic founder too. And so, but I think it's so needed, and I'm so glad she was able to pour wisdom. So if you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let us know what you loved in the comments, and go ahead, follow us, tag myself, tag Arjita on Instagram at The Brave Table, at Neeta Bhushan, and let us know what you loved so much. And until next time. You know I've got so much more in store for you. So if you are really ready to dive in and keep owning your emotions like the boss that you are, click right here. Go ahead, don't be shy. I'll see you in the next one. Keep shining.